Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. So let's kick off this wonderful Friday evening with another episode 16 of From Success Principles to Properties. Let's get some good information here. Always setting up as usual. Leave a comment, question, subscribe to the AZREIA page if you like what you see. And today, the topic is ask. Ask, ask, ask. Ask for what you want. My name is Mike DelPrete, Executive Director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. And my goal here is to read verbatim and explain what Jack Canfield is saying in his 64 principles. So each principle is a foundation that builds upon each other. So my goal is to go through all 64, read from the book, give you my thoughts, as well as how it applied to me personally and changed my life personally as I changed my mindset and entered the real estate business. And then as I say in the I always say I don't prepare. I just read what it says, and whatever comes to my mind, I will just tell you. So whatever thoughts I could come up with, or examples, learning lessons, hurdles, obstacles, failures, successes I could come up with, I'll just share it on the spot, and we'll just keep moving. And hopefully, this will help you in your future as you grow as a real estate investor or just a better person, right? So, um, ask. Now I got to get rid of this. All right, I got to get rid of something here. One second. Take that off. Put this back on. Why is it coming over here? There we go. So pop your question if you have one. Just checking all the tech stuff here right now. Um, but we always like to start with a quote, right? You got to ask. Asking, in my opinion, is the world's most powerful and neglected secret to success and happiness, right? Huge, huge. You got to ask for what you want. You may have heard closed mouths don't get fed. That's another one. Um, so I'm going to read a little bit from the book. Let's just jump right into this. History is filled with examples of incredible riches and astounding benefits from people that received what they want simply by asking for it. Yet, surprisingly, asking, one of the most powerful success principles of all, is still a challenge that holds most people back. If you're not afraid to ask anybody for anything, then skip this. But if you're like most people, you may be holding yourself back by not asking for the information, the assistance, the support, the money, and the time that you'll need to fulfill your vision and make your dreams come true. So, why are people afraid to ask for what they want? So, they're afraid for many reasons, such as looking needy, looking foolish, looking stupid, but mostly they're afraid of experiencing rejection. They're afraid of hearing the word no. The sad thing is that they're actually rejecting themselves in advance, and they're saying no to themselves before anyone else even has the chance to. We do it all the time, right? You just assume. I'm going to be talking about. This is perfect for giving offers, giving lower cash offers, or giving creative offers. Something that where a lot of new investors are scared to do is give that low offer. Oh, I don't want to offend them. I don't want to get them mad. I don't want to get kicked out of the house. Whatever it may be. So he goes in, like I always say, he gives out a lot of great stories and examples. So always check, if you can, check out the book from Success Principles by Jack Canfield. Older book, probably get it online, Amazon, used bookstore, whatever it is. So it happens all the time. People are just, whether it's getting on the phone and asking if they would like a cash offer for their house, or actually your marketing's working and you're talking to the homeowner and you got to give them that offer because, at 50 cents on the dollar, it is intimidating. You're building up all these reasons as to why you shouldn't give them that offer. all right, or or why they wouldn't accept it, or why you'd be crazy to do so, or even if you're wanting to get into real estate investing, right? And your friends and family, people that don't invest in real estate, tell you it's crazy. um, it's just it's that limited belief. So a lot of times, I love that line says, people are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of hearing the word no, and they're saying no to themselves before anyone else can even have a chance to. Think about some scenarios that you're guilty of for doing that. There's a specific science. So how to ask for what you want. There's a specific science to asking for and getting what you want and need in life. Um, Although I recommend you learn more by reading our book Aladdin Factor, here are some quick tips. So here's some tips. Ask as if you expect to get it. Ask with positive expectation. Ask from the place that you have already been given it. It's a done deal. Ask as if you expect to get a yes. Assume you can. Don't start with an assumption that you can't get it. If you are going to assume you can get an upgrade. Assume you can get the table by the window. Assume you can get you can return without a sales slip. Assume you can get a scholarship. Assume you can get that raise. Assume you can get tickets to the game, whatever it may be. Assume, just reframe it, just switch it rather than going, I can't. Either way, it's gonna, I think actually you have a better opportunity of getting what you want when you just assume that it's already yours, and you show that confidence when you ask. I think that can lead to actually more opportunity versus going, hey, I would like to offer you, $100,000 for your property, after you explain the whole process, versus, well, you know, I'm just gonna, don't get mad, I'm just gonna offer you 1,000, 100,000, that's probably the best I could, look at the difference, right? So assume you can get it. Gotta ask someone who can give it to you. Qualify the person. Who would I have to speak to in order to get it? Who is authorized to make that decision? What would have to happen for me to get it? That's another good point, right? So it's like when we're talking in the sales part of real estate investing, when you're talking and you're giving an offer, if it's husband, wife, or whatever it may be, two decision makers, you want both of them there so you can ask, right, with that confidence, and ask for what you want out of the deal and get an answer on that spot from both decision makers, versus just asking, right? You're already nervous to ask already, and then that person says, oh, I have to talk to my spouse, right? So you're not able to get that. So you want to get those two people, you want to get the decision makers to give you that yes or no. Be clear and specific. I often ask, who wants more money? I pick someone who raises the hand, and I give them $1. You now have more money. Are you satisfied? So, so I give the person a quarters. Is that enough for you? And no, I want more than that. Well, just how much do you want? We could play this game for days, for weeks, whatever. The person usually gives me a specific number, and then I point out how important it is to be specific. Vague requests produce vague results. Same thing when we talked about a few chapters back, when you're setting your goals and your intentions and your vision as to what you want to achieve. Once again, that plays there. Vague requests produce vague results. Be specific. When it comes to money, you need to ask specifically what you want. Don't say, I want a raise. Say, I want a raise of $500 a month. Don't say, I want to spend more time with you this weekend. I would like to go out for dinner and a movie with you Saturday night. Would that work for you? So specific, all right? Ask repeatedly. One of the most important principles of success is persistence, not giving up. Whenever you ask others to participate in fulfillment of your goals, some people are going to say no. They may have other priorities, commitments, and reasons not to participate. It's not a reflection on you. Just get used to the idea that you're going to get a lot of rejection along the way. The key is not to give up, right? So one thing, even before we talk about offers or give to a homeowner, when I remember when we were going through, you'd ask a homeowner if they would want a cash offer in general, and you get down the basic first, seller intake form, get an application from the homeowner, and then you'd say, hey, I'm gonna have my acquisition guy call you back, or my rep, or my boss, whatever, however the structure is in your flow. Uh, but usually, sometimes you call back after you come to property, do your research, whatever it is, and they don't answer, right? So it's like we found that it took at least 10 days of calling these people every day, call, voicemail, text, email if you have their information, in order to get a response out of them. People are busy, life happens. Sometimes these people are in bad situations. They don't communicate properly. But we noticed after 10 days of following up, we would get someone on the line. We would get some type of progress with that lead sheet to take it to the next step, or you know, put it in the long term follow up, or throw it back into the system. So um, you have to repeatedly be consistent and persistent and asking for what you want. We want to ask them if we can give them a cash offer. We want to ask them if we could buy their house for them. So for 10 days straight, we had to call them. And that's just the first part, right? So then you say you move it to the next level, and then you're getting to know them, you're building your rapport, and then you have to give them that offer, or communicate with them and follow up with them until they're at a point where they want to sell, or need to sell, and want to negotiate or talk about that cash offer. So that's a whole nother part of asking if you could follow up, and is asking for that sale every time you follow up. So it's just not, so a lot of different ways to look at asking. So we're talking, you got to, closed mouths don't get fed. So we say no. The recap, we say no to, before we ever even ask what the answer is. So people are afraid of direction. Be confident, be clear, be specific, assume you can get it, expect to get it, and ask repeatedly. Uh, some statistics here. You probably saw this floating around the internet. It probably came from this book. Marketing specialists at Notre Dame University found that 44% of salespeople quit trying after the first call, 24% quit after the second call, 14% quit after the third call, 12% quit trying to sell their prospect after the fourth call. We always say 80% of our deals happen 6 months down the road, right? So imagine that. I truly think that's the sweet spot, that as to where investors, or definitely wholesalers, whoever's in that sales part of this, that's where the success lies, in getting direct to owner um, deals that are profitable and that make sense for everybody. It's that 12% quit selling their prospect after the fourth call. It's that 4 month, 6 month, 12-month follow up process of communicating with the owner, that where they're ready to make that decision to work with you, and staying in touch with them. And you're always asking, right? You're asking to follow up, and you're staying on top of that. That means 94% of all salespeople quit after the fourth call, but 60% of all sales are made after the fourth call. This statistic shows that 94% of all salespeople don't give themselves a chance at 60% of the buyers. You may have the capacity, but you also have the tenacity to be successful. You have to ask, ask, ask. So, what else can we do about asking? Ask and it shall be given to you. Ask and you shall receive. I'm sure you heard that. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by asking. So, whatever you're doing, whatever you're holding off on, you're procrastinating on, get out there and ask. Ask your spouse if you could spend that money to get that training, whatever it is, right? Go call that homeowner. Ask if you could buy their house. Go call that buyer. Ask if they want to buy that wholesale deal from you, right? Um, what else do we got here? So, a couple different, and also kind of, since a little tangent off the book, a couple different important topics about asking, right? So, what does that do? What else? What else besides getting what you want? What else does that do? I feel it builds knowledge. So by asking questions, you learn things you never would have thought of, or you never would have known unless you asked. Um, man, I got to come up with some quick stories for that. So what? There's just so much. I remember the first time I ever, well, asked for money, a large sum of money before real estate investing for a different type of business project. I was younger, and I remember I wanted to ask my uncle for 25 grand. Man, I did not want to do it, right? Because it's like your family. You didn't want to like, man, there's just so much around it. Asking family for money, there's a lot there. Pride, there's, once again, rejection at the end of the day, just like the book said. And, but after I did it, he was like, good job. You know what I mean? It was like when I'm thinking, oh, he's going to say no, get out of here. I don't like your idea. I'm thinking all these negative things. But it was more of a, hey, I don't care. That's what you got to do. You got to ask, right? Like you did fine. And he actually gave me tips like, here's what you could have done. Here's why I'm saying no. Here's why he didn't he didn't lend me the money, but he educated me as to why he didn't, which helped me in my business opportunity, and it actually, I felt like I grew up. I felt like I I felt more confident. Like, and once it's done, you're like, oh, that wasn't bad. Like, why was I even tripping on that, right? Um, and then he actually told me, because he, a successful businessman himself, was like, when I was starting my company, he was asking for large amounts of money. He says like I got told no 33 times. I was like, man. He's like, just keep, just keep going, man. He didn't say ask, 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 right, like the book, but he's like, just keep at it, keep doing what you're doing, keep trying to get the money, keep making the money, keep selling things, you'll get the money. You know what I mean? So all that worrying of rejection and all that limited thinking, limiting beliefs, was all for nothing. It was all waste, right? You actually get ahead faster, so you learn things. So you're gonna build your knowledge base by asking. Um, I think it also teaches us about people. So that situation with my uncle, he gave me feedback. He gave me a learning lesson. He gave me shared experience of what he went through. So it was like, it taught me that, hey, he cares. He wants to see me succeed. He's a good person, right? Like, so obviously I knew he was my uncle, but like it also, think about when you ask other people stuff, it it's important, because even if you could ask someone, maybe someone's bluffing, right? They're like this person you look up to, or it's someone that says they have XYZ and what you're looking for. Then you start engaging and asking questions out of curiosity, and then you get that vibe where like these are fluff answers. These are answers that are pushing me away. These are answers that are skirting around the real topic, right? So now you're learning about that person and who they are, or even like just in sales in general. They dangle the carrot. Especially in this real estate marketing world, it's like they'll give you a little bit and kind of get you to come in and buy something to get the full information. You just get to learn what the intentions are. And that's, it is what it is. But like, you learn about that person, whether you get in their intentions or their true, knowledge base of whatever you're trying to learn. And then you can know if that's a good coach or a good mentor based on how they're responding to your questions. Questions also Asking questions also allows you to um, engage and connect, right? You get to know the person better. You get to understand the person better. So I thought, that was a good part about asking questions, as well as good conversations, right? A lot there. So I just wanted to build on top of the importance of asking for what you want, because we tend to talk ourselves out of it. So um, start asking today. Take time now to make a list of things that you want and that you don't want. Or let me rephrase that. Take a time now to make a list of things that you want that you don't ask for at home, school, or work. Next to each one, write down how you stop yourself from asking. What's your fear? Next, write down, what is it costing you not to ask? Then write down what benefit you would get if you were to ask. So now you got a little homework here. We broke down the importance of it. So now in the book, he's giving us a little assignment. So I definitely would like you to participate in this assignment and come back to this episode and maybe drop a question, drop a comment, and let me know how it went. So I'll go through this really quick. So take time to make a list of what you need to ask. I always lose my spot here. No, let me go. So everything that you don't ask for, write it down. Everything you're afraid to ask for. First, what is your fear of asking? Then write down what is it costing you for not asking. Then write down the benefit you would get if you were to ask. Take time to make this list of what you need to ask for in each of the following 7 goal categories that I outlined in Principle 3. Decide what you want: financial, career, fun time, recreation, health, relationships, personal projects, and hobbies, and contribution to your community. This might include a raise, a loan, investment money, feedback about your performance, a referral, an endorsement. So but the main key is, what are you not asking for? Why are you scared to do it? What's it costing you? And what's the benefit? Just write those down, right? And it kind of puts it into perspective. And this way here, go out there and ask, right? Uh, I mean, I just owe my success to asking, right? Just whether the answer is not what I want to hear, but majority of the time you get something, an aha moment, a learning lesson, a perspective on somebody. So you always win by asking. So that's all I got for this Friday evening, episode 16, Ask. So, like I said, we are reviewing all 64 principles of Jack Canfield's book, Success Principles, and I'd like to share my real estate perspective on it as well, where it fits. There's 15 other episodes before this. Like I said, all these episodes are a foundation to your mindset, and they all build on top of each other. So I highly recommend going back and checking those out. And like I said, this is number 16. We got 64 to do. Also, if you are looking to get involved in real estate investing, or maybe you already are investing, would love to, and mainly, if you're here in Phoenix, Arizona, we are the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. You can head over to AZREIA.org. We throw about 15 events a month. Our main meeting is on the second Monday of every month at Venue 8600 in Scottsdale. This month in December, we do it online, so we will be online streaming our market update, our networking. We're doing a $100 ugly Christmas sweater contest, so that'll be fun. But if you're interested in the Arizona market, we're doing the Tucson update, the Phoenix update, and you get to hear from our professional analysts as to what they are seeing. And we'll have a discussion about it. So hopefully that will help you with your investments here in Arizona, or if you're looking to invest in Arizona, it'll help give you some insight. And with that being said, like, our mission is to provide resources, networking opportunities, market information, education, legal information to real estate investors throughout the state of Arizona. We've been doing it for 21 years. So we're continuing to do so because we want you to be successful in your business, change your life financially, as well as provide great, safe, clean, affordable housing for the citizens of Arizona. So AZREIA.org. We're also on all social media platforms. Give us a subscribe if you like this episode. I will be back tomorrow to do episode 17, and that is going deeper, and we'll talk about rejection. Rejection. That's a good one. This one didn't have as many quotes as they usually do. Usually I'm rambling off about a bunch of them. This only had one. Interesting. Well, that's a wrap. So have a great Friday. I will see you tomorrow.